Hello, welcome pen friends. Today I want to show you 6 of my fountain pens that I wouldn't know what to do without, but I kind of take them for granted. I use them every day. It really gets my attention when they run out of ink, and it's not like I want to just clean them and then put them away. They're just constantly in use, and so I kind of look at them like, oh yeah, you know, everybody knows I write with that. But when I really looked at it closely this morning, having to fill up several of them, and there's one where the cartridge is almost empty, but I have the cartridge ready. And I thought, well, this would make a fun video because I'd like to show you, they're kind of like my survivor pens, or pens that I use utility like, and I'll show you where I keep them. Like, you know, one is attached inside of my bullet journal, and the other one goes in my little commonplace journal. So on the way, I think we'll look at my new little arrangement. This is where I write my pen pal letters, and it's where, you know, it's my pen desk where I make my videos and stuff. And I moved this shelf from the library and I switched things around, and now over beside my computer, which we're not going to tour because my computer area that's in front of me is completely a disaster of projects, you know, for Guardian work and book projects, and it's a disaster. But maybe one of these days, like Christmas or something, it'll be clean, or the day before Thanksgiving. But you just have to use your imagination. Instead of having the shelf over in the corner, where I had to kind of step over everything, you know, I have a little thing in the window for Coco, and now I have a chair for him over there instead of the shelf, and the shelf is right at my fingertips, just to the right of where I work. So literally, I'm finding it so much better to, you know, reach for a washi tape or get a cartridge, or you know, get one of those shell boxes. Yeah, I froze for a minute. The shell boxes have all the different colors, and then on the other end there, they have, there's a box for each of the ink vents for the last 3 years that I've done it. So I've got the little samples. And so sitting here, just that little change of moving things around, having the shelf right beside me has really helped. So I don't know if the little mini tour on the way will amount to much. I'll try it and see if it'll work out. And then we'll look at those 6 pens and I'll write with them and talk about them. They're not going to be anything new if you've been around here, but we do have some new subscribers too, and even people who are just coming into the hobby. So welcome to all of you. And I think that part of my message is that at any price point you can enjoy writing with fountain pens. You don't have to spend as much as I have, but you know, you can just jump right in with something like the pens that I'm going to show you, really. And they are, even now that I have many more pens and can ink up anything, they're just consistently real reliable for me, and I want them inked up all the time. And you know, this isn't very exciting. I was thinking about that. I thought the excitement for me is when I choose 8 new pens and inks to write my letters with, and I'll show you where those hide out too. In fact, I just made a new cover for that dusty cover that goes over my pen box. But anyway, that's the excitement. That's where you're going to see the pizzazz, and the pens where it might be a Banu pen, or, you know, something more exciting. But these are the soldiers, the workhorses in my pens, and I really don't know what I'd do without them. So hopefully you'll enjoy it, and I'll see you over there and on the other side. I think it actually looks neater from this direction, but we're going to do it anyway. See you over there. Okay, so this just gives you a little more of a close-up. I've got some baskets up there with, what do I have in them? All kinds of little supplies for ink sample vials and things like that. And then I've got the little boxes with my Jinhao 248 80s and 82s and the 159s and some Pilot Metropolitans. So then down here I've got all my shell boxes, which I really love. I've got all the different color groups, and then over here are the 3. I haven't labeled the 2023 ink vent yet. And moving down, let's see, I've got shell boxes, cigar boxes with some pens that are going to be worked on. And then in here, let's see, what is in there? Let's see. Oh yeah, a bunch of index cards and things like that. And these are that's a whole little pouch with all my rickshaw and little individual pen sleeves. And then down here, it's kind of messy, but this is my school supply bin, you know, all the little things I need. Oh, I've got a new varsity, I forgot about that. And lots of tape and glue sticks and stuff like that. This is supposed to just be washi tape, but it's got stickers and some other little neat things that pen friends have sent me, and more stickers. And then I've got some inks over here on the side done by like Pilot, J.R. Bond, Colorverse, Robert Oster, and whatever else is back there. I think there must be one for noodlers too. So then next we're going to move over to the main desk. It's kind of messy, but well, you're just getting real life here. The spice shelf has a lot of inks on it, and you've seen that before, or I can go ahead and link my video. So I keep a lot of inks on that shelf. There's kind of a gap there, but I like the gap for where I can put my books. I just was thinking I need to put something pretty right there, because that looks kind of ugly. Oh well. And then of course I've got all my pens and pen pots, and I kind of put something in front of where my pen pal letters are so no addresses would show. And got some samples that I'm working with, and then this is my perpetual mess over here, but I like this shelf. It's very nice. I probably could do a better job of making it neat, but really I just like to be able to reach over and, you know, get my corner rounder or my tape or whatever I need, and so it just sort of corrals all the stuff. Now I'm the type of person, I simply have to see everything that I've got going on. I can't have it in drawers. I'll lose my mind. Okay, then over here, I just cut this out of the Gold Spot catalog to just cover the box that I put my pens, because these are my writing pens for my, you know, for letter writing. And so they're the ones that I'm working with in my ink journal and everything. So I just couldn't stand that anymore. It was so yucky. And I think it looks neat. Until I can think of something else, I just thought, well, that's really pretty. And I put a sticker on the top. So I think we're ready to just kind of start the video. I'll meet you there. There, I just thought it would be cool to show you on the way. Not that I have a fancy work area, but I do really enjoy it. I like having everything right at my fingertips. I like being able to see everything. And I just thought that might be fun. I mean, it's summer and it's really hot and we have to have fun somehow. So, okay, these are the 6 pens that I have come to realize are always in use. They're just always near me, and hopefully I remember to put them back where I want them to be, because if I don't, especially this one, I go looking for this one a lot, which is probably the cheapest pen in this video. But anyway, let's start with the TWSBIs, the 2 TWSBI Ecos that I now have running all the time. Oh, that's got dust. Wow. I think that was because I dusted what was up above here before the video and must have fallen down on it. This is the TWSBI Eco Cement Gray with a medium nib, and it was a gift from a pen friend. And I keep in it the Graf von Faber Castell Stone Gray, and I just haven't looked back. I just filled it this morning. I have, you know, it was so low, it was just on fumes. And instead of cleaning it, actually, this time I just filled it, because I think I'm good for about every other time I can go ahead and clean it. Okay? And then, now this one, where it lives right now is that case that I showed you, the Levenger case. So it's in there with a whole bunch of other TWSBIs, but it's not really working out. I keep going to get it no matter what else I'm working on. So I'm thinking about keeping it over here, maybe even in the pen writing tray, because it's just a little closer to my fingertips. And you know, I try to get 10,000 steps every day. It's not like I'm trying to save steps. It's just that I'm an impatient, I think, kind of person. So, okay, the next one is another TWSBI Eco. And this one has extra fine nib, and it has cross black. And what I found out recently is it's so perfect for my bullet journal that I just leave it right with my bullet journal at all times. Like, you know, it's not getting, the ink's not getting used up too fast because it's just being used for my, so I keep it right here in front of my bullet journal. And I'm all set to go. And I love that because I can just pick it up. Now, if I want other colors, I go and get my tray of pens, or I get that lavender case, whatever the case might be. Whoops, I guess we'll want to keep it with us for a little while longer. Everybody can go back home after the video. Okay, then the next one, this is the one that's likely to be just about anywhere. And I do get a little frustrated sometimes because I'll have to look for it. It might be over in the kitchen even where I make my grocery list. So I may need to ink another one of these, but I don't want to get to where I lose track of things too bad, where I don't want pens drying up. And none of these have, so. This is the Jinhao 248, and it has an extra fine nib that came on it, and it just was perfect right out of the box. You know, with a cartridge. You know, the first two are piston fillers, so they take a lot. I do have to fill this one up a lot. In fact, I kept this with my bullet journal for a long, long time, but I really feel like I have to fill this 3 times for one fill for the TWSBI Eco. Well, it will take me 3 times as, you know, longer writing. So anyway, but this is just really nice. I also tried this one on my little commonplace book, and it works just fine, but the next pen ended up better for that. So this is just sort of a kick around. It's by the computer, or it's over in the library, or it's in the kitchen, so it's a little crazy. You know, it's kind of like when I used to have ballpoint pens all over the place, but now it's all fountain pen. So then next up is the Platinum Preppy, and this does have a 03 nib on it, but it's got a 05 cap. So the story on that is that I had the cap crack, and I just switched the caps because I wanted one that wasn't cracked on the one I use all the time. So, but that doesn't matter to me. This is just a pen to write with. And there's certainly nothing wrong with the rest of it. In fact, I've got the cartridge ready to go. But this is just super nice. And I found that it works even better right here. I don't know. It seems like it fits better, and it's quicker on and off that elastic. They never want to make those elastics big enough. This is a Dingbats A6, is it? Or, well, it's a pocket size. I'm not sure if I'm saying the size right, but this is the best of the little, pen loops that I've found. At least it's big enough for most of the pens that you might want to put on it, because mostly they're not. I like having the preppy part show. I know there's one now that doesn't have all that, but I haven't gone that far into things. Okay, then next up this is the newest pen I've had this the least amount of time, but I've always loved these Moonman minis, and this in the purple swirled, I just can't. I wrote it completely dry, and it takes 3 mils of ink. So, and I've only had it since like April, so I really love it. And I've got a broad nib. It's an Opus 88 nib, and I've got the Monteverde Purple Rain in it. And I love that ink, and I just decided to fill it right back up with the same ink because it's a bright purple. It's one of my favorites, and I don't need to experiment with that. I just already know. And so this one you have to have a place for it. And I do have little sleeves for it, but instead, for right now, I'm leaving it in this old thing. It had a label. I think it was a Clinique bag that I got for $1 at a thrift shop. It's supposed to be for Clinique, is that it? Yeah, it's supposed to be for makeup. But I also have my, let's see, this Moonman Q1 and a TWSBI Diamond 580. And I just found it was nice to have a little portable case to take those around in. But often I keep this in a little rickshaw. Let's see. Let me pull that out since it's right here. I think it's pretty easy to find. Yeah, so I can keep 2 of them in this, and it even has a lanyard. It holds a lanyard, but I find myself just keeping it on my desk. Because let's face it, I'm mostly at home. Most of the time, especially in the summer. We get a little more adventurous in the winter, but Okay, so this is, like I said, that's definitely one of my always inked. And now this is not new, but I suddenly realized that if I lose track of this, I'm going absolutely crazy, because this is a Pilot Petite 1, and it's red, and it has a red cartridge. And I just sort of took this for granted. I've been using it forever, and you're going to laugh probably, but what I use it for is to fill in the little flag on my pen mail stamper things that I quite often, not every single letter, but I like to put these. I just think it's cute. Now, it doesn't say that. It doesn't say pen mail. I write that in. The stamper is just plain. I got it at Michael's, I think. It was dirt cheap. But I fill in the red because I just can't stand to have the, excuse me, the little mail thing not be red. So I use it for other things too. Like I circle things if I want to bring attention to a note. But I keep this right on my desk. It's kind of not abused, but it's kind of rolling around. So I thought what we'd do next is write with each of them real quick, because I think that's nice to just show how they write. Okay, so this is the bullet journal that I do everything else in, and it has 68 GSM Tomoe River paper. It's an old stock Bond travel gear, but all we're going to do is kind of just make a little box and then write down the specifications. So TWSBI Eco medium, cement gray, and we have Graf von Faber Castell stone gray. Pardon me, I'm not going to write all that out. It's just too long. And then I think we'll do a little bit of a smear with each one. This is just an incredibly perfect matchup between, a medium nib like that, and it's gray. It goes on looking black, but then it dries kind of a medium gray, and I really love it. Okay, so then next up is the TWSBI with the extra fine nib. So TWSBI Eco extra fine clear. So this is out of their regular product line, always available, and the ink is cross black. It's my favorite black ink. I just absolutely love it. I trust it. I'm not worried about it. It flows really well, and it looks nice and black, but I don't have any problems cleaning it, and I don't feel like I have to be afraid of it. So okay, so that comes up again, because this is the Jinhao 248 with an extra fine Jinhao nib, and it's got cross black too. It's quite a bit thinner of a line, but it's super smooth, and I never had to do anything to it. Jinhao 248 extra fine. We're going to put stock, because, a lot of times with the Jinhaos I switch the nibs around, but I didn't with this one. And I'll just put green and cross black. And we'll do a little bit of a smear on that one. Yeah, it's nice. This, I find myself doing my grocery list with it and everything else. Okay, so then this one may be, as far as line width, this is the Platinum Preppy 03 fine nib. I'm thinking, I feel like this is thinner of a nib, even though it's a fine. But let's see how it looks on here. The thing is, I don't have any flow problems with either one, so I like them. I feel like they're really, really reliable and good. Platinum Preppy. Now this one is the only one I did work on. I smoothed the nib with micro mesh. That, and I've written with it for a couple years, so I'm sure that helps it too. And this is just, I don't really know why, because usually I refill cartridges, but this is a stock cartridge, and I'm all lined up to put another one in too. I could easily refill these too, and I will. But I'd like to use some of the older things that I have. just laying around like that. Cartridge. Okay. Oh, yeah. So we'll just put black cartridge. Gosh, let's see how this does. Yeah, you know, the smear test is coming very similar to the Jinhao 248, and by my eye, they look very similar. I believe you pay more now for these Preppies than you would for a Jinhao 248, so that's something to keep in mind. I have not checked prices yet because I set everything up and then it was right in front of my computer. So when I do this description, I think I'm going to do that. I wanted to just see where prices are at because things have been changing. Just recently, prices have been going up. Okay, so then pen number 5 is the little Moonman Mini Purple Swirl with a broad nib. This is the only broad nib here. Moonman Mini Purple. Well, I left myself not much room. Broad Opus. I like to specify because I do switch those nibs around quite a bit. With Monteverde, Purple Rain, nice and juicy. Let's do that again, just because we can. Okay, so you know, I just don't know what to do if I don't have this one inked up. It is my favorite pen to have this favorite ink in. Okay, and then last but not least, the little Pilot Petite 1. And I think these are all, well, it says F for fine. I guess I would call it fine medium, but they are labeled fine. And it's been a long time since I purchased this. I have a feeling the price on these are up now, too. Pilot Petite 1 Red cartridge. Now, when this runs out, I don't have any more, so I'll fill them. I mean, I have some other empty ones, and I have some other color cartridges, but I want red in this, so I've got lots of red to choose from. I might even do Pilot Momiji in this when it runs out. But this has been inked up so long. See, I thought this is pretty dry, but that kind of works to your advantage, especially if the envelope doesn't happen to be very... whoops, I need to clean the cap. I got a little bit of red in the cap, but it doesn't matter. This is a really nice little pen to have always something red ready to go. And I had another Preppy that was red. They tend to just be everywhere, but I kind of prefer this for the red. Yeah, I prefer the Pilot Petite 1. So there we have it. Let's see. Let's switch this around a little. There, so that's everybody. You know, certainly I do a lot with my other TWSBI Ecos too, but these are just, I intend to always have the stone gray and the cross black inked up at all times, and these just turn out to be the pens that I want to have, you know, at the ready all the time. Do you have pens like this? Is it just me? I don't think I'll ever turn my back on them. You know, they may have been some of the first pens that I came across, but they're still just as good. You know, I haven't become totally spoiled because each one seems to offer something different. You know, I'm not worried really bad about any of these, although I would cry like a like a little kid if something happened to the purple one. So I think I may actually make sure that I put that back into a sleeve. It has its own little sleeve too. Let's see if I can find that one. Yeah, it has its own little sleeve. Because this I got years ago, and I don't want it really scratched, so I'm going to put that in there. And then I won't worry about it getting... The rest of them, I really don't worry about them getting bumped up. I don't think they will, especially the way I do it. This one goes, you know, in that slot for the bullet journal, which is all good. And then this one usually goes in the Lavender case, or it goes right beside me in another tray, which this is another story, but these are pens that I'm just finishing the fill, and I'm trying to, you know, evaluate. I've got a couple that didn't work out, this worked out, but it's almost gone. And then this one, I don't know, stopped writing because I had put a different nib in it and it just went haywire. So that's kind of a tray that's always here as a secondary tray, and I can keep my my gray one there as long as I don't lose track of it. So everything's all good. So let me know in the comments if you have pens that you classify this way, that, and maybe you haven't even really thought about it. Maybe it's just, if you're like me, the time you're going to think about it is when you pick it up and it's out of ink and you realize, I'm not going to go without this one. I'm not going to just put it in the cleaning tray or clean it out. I'm either going to clean it and re-ink it, or I'm going to just keep going with the same ink. And I do clean them at least, you know, every other month if they're TWSBIs, because they're gonna, there's no, I'm not using any harmful inks or anything. If I was, then I probably would make sure I did it at least every month or every couple of weeks. Shimmer inks, definitely, I would be cleaning them, you know, more often. In fact, I just eyedroppered a pen, that little Kaweco Sport, but that's for the progress report. I just got, put the Key Do Nepal in there and completely eyedroppered it, and I'll be really interested in how long it's going to take me to use that ink. But I'm going to go for now. I just thought a quick fun video might be a lot of fun. You know, I wasn't even planning to do a video today, but when I started gathering them up and realizing I had like, this one was ready for a new cartridge, which I needed to locate. This one was completely empty, and you know, let's see, and this one I had just refilled too. I thought to myself, that's a video. That's an interesting thing that I sort of take these all for granted. So I will see you next time, and I'll also see you in the comments. Bye for now.